everybody, welcome back to Divio, and it's time for some more Rollercoaster Tycoon today, and we are doing the Katie's World scenario. So the objective of Katie's World is very simple. There's only one. So no park rating stuff, no guest stuff, just a park value of $15,000 at the end of October year 3. Easy. Well, I think it's easy. The park value is currently $9,500, so I mean, we're 2/3 of the way there already. Admission is free, which is a bit crazy. Let's put that up to $15 straight away. So we do start with a very small amount of money. Loans are available to us, and I will just show you around. So Katie's World is a fairly small park. It's got this massive, ridiculous roller coaster that goes loopity-doopity all over the place, which first thing I'm going to do is set this to every 10 minutes. Best thing to do with any roller coasters, which by the way, there's another one under here, we'll get to that, is set the inspection time to every 10 minutes. It does make it a lot less likely that things will crash. I believe that it is built into certain scenarios that rides are going to crash, but you can kind of make it a little bit less likely by increasing that inspection time. I know that with dynamite dunes, the chances of the dynamite blaster crashing is really high. And in Diamond Heights, it's either claustrophobia or agoraphobia. Always crashes. Like, there is no getting around it. I've tried everything with that one. I tried changing the inspection times. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's programmed into the game for that to crash. Yeah, you can minimize that risk a little by having that inspection time up. I'm just going to go through and do all my usual stuff while I'm talking. And yeah, it does make it a little less likely, but crashes are just a part of some parks, some scenarios. The guests can't find anywhere to buy something to eat. I'm just going to start by building some stalls, and this is a really good spot because it's right near the entrance and there's nothing else that's going to fit there. Good spot for a kiosk. So as I said, the objective of this one is just to increase the park value, and the best way to increase park value is by building rides. We have all the usual, you know, the gentle rides, car rides, all that stuff. We do have the space rings. Swinging ship. The best thing about Katie's World though is that you start with go-karts. It does rain a lot though in Katie's World, which is a bit of a bummer. So we've already got a little go-karts here. We already have a swinging ship. We don't need to build any of that stuff. I mean, I'll build more go-karts because they're go-karts. So let's go through the list of rides that we already have. We've got Elle's Galleon, which is the swinging ship. We have Forest Flyer, which is a suspended single rail roller coaster. We have Catherine's Cruises, which is this little boat hire, cute little swans in the little pond. We have the Miniature Railroad, which is kind of lame actually. It doesn't really go around much of the park. I'll keep an eye on that. If the profits on it start to drop, I might get rid of it because it takes up a lot of space that roller coasters could go in. We have Richard's Wreckers, which is the go-karts. We have Runaway Plumber, which is that underground one that I showed you. I'll just show you again. This is Runaway Plumber, which is a steel mini. Then we have the Storm, which is this mine train roller coaster. Very intense. The land is owned just for that to run through. So I'm going to begin by putting in a new roller coaster or two. And I think I'll start with a steel mini because we don't have a lot of money. Now, the thing with this park is it really is the first one where you do kind of need to take out a loan. Whether I like it or not, that's what I'm going to have to do because you start with so little money. A lot of the others you start with $5,000 to $10,000 already, and this one you start with bupkis. I think I'll put that there, which means I'm going to have to get rid of a lot of trees, which is fine. I don't mind getting rid of trees. It just costs money. It's annoying. Can't construct this here. Tell me why. So yeah, it rains almost constantly here, which gets very annoying. Having a little trouble here. I'm guessing it's because of the level of this land. Let's waste a little bit. Oh, should I waste the money? Because it is just a mini steel. It's not a really lucrative one. All right, it's not going to let us build it anywhere. What the heck is going on here? I reckon it's this bit of land, so I'm just going to lower that. You do have a fair bit of land, but some of it's kind of awkward. It's still not going to let me build it there. Why not? Should I bring this bit down or this bit up? Guess I'll bring this bit up because it's easier. This is going to cost us a lot of money. Very, very careful when you're landscaping. This is one annoying thing with the old Rollercoaster Tycoon is it does just say, can't construct this here. It doesn't give you any kind of feedback as to why. So when you don't have enough money, it says, can't construct this here, not enough cash. And if there's a tree in the way, you know, it'll say that there's a tree in the way or something like that. But when it just doesn't like the level of the land, it'll just say, nope, now it's saying not enough cash because I just spent all my money on leveling the land, which was probably not very sensible. I'm just going to take out a little more of a loan. Oh, but the entrance and exit is on the other side. Let's turn that around. Okay, put in the paths. I might put in some no entry signs just to kind of smooth things out a little bit, stop people getting lost. I don't usually have a problem with seriously getting lost in Katie's World, but I always like to play it safe and at least close off the exits. So let's make Raging Rocket $3, I think, just to start. I will need to drop that. Guests are hungry and can't find anywhere to have something to eat. Let's open this up. I'm going to put in some more food stalls because we've only got the ones at the front. We want some more, say, up here. And we need to add a drink stall at the entrance to that lot that we did build because we didn't have that yet. It's important to keep an eye on that. You don't want to automatically not research shops and stalls. You want to check what you do have first because you can easily end up saying, oh, well, we won't research more shops and stalls, but then you find out that you don't have something critical, like you don't have a drink stall researched or you don't have any kind of food available. All right, a lot of people are not happy about the storm. I'm not paying that much. Wow. That down to $4 because $5 is kind of ridiculous. I'm just going to assign this handyman to this spot because it's pukey. Now, where does that pop out of the ground, that exit? I kind of want to stop people walking down in there. Just cut it off here so that they can still get to the stalls. So now they can still get to the food stalls, but they don't wander off down the exit. Really great value, more thrilling. Okay, good. What are people saying about, I'm going to actually name this. I'm just going to name this Raging Rocket. Makes it easier to keep track of. Let's go add that drink stall at the front of the park. Okay. Also don't have a lot of seating here. I'll just add that in. Let's see what our guests are thinking. Just people complaining about the rain. See a lot of umbrellas. So runaway plumber is good for that because it's underground. People will still go on it when it's raining. I like to put in another go-kart. I might put in the old slow carts because that's a cheapie and it's actually quite popular. So that's going to cost just about $1,500. Guests are commenting a park entrance fee is very cheap. It's $15. I might put it up a little higher, but I suppose I could. I might actually do that. I might put it up a little higher. While we're waiting, let's have a look at how our park value is going. 10,600. All right, 5,000 to go. Let's put that there. I'm going to make a longish queue line for this because I'm hoping we'll end up with a fair amount of people here. And I would like to keep them off the paths if possible. Go-kart's one. I'm going to make this $3 and they'll probably start complaining about that, but it's usually pretty safe to keep it around $3. Chuck in some more mechanics. Let's see what the thoughts are. I'm hungry. I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, where are they hungry? Cheapers everywhere. Should I add some more shops at the bottom here? Because they may not go that way. I always prefer to see them saying, I'm not hungry. I've never walked past a row of food shops and complained because there's food shops there, but I'm not hungry. How disgraceful. How dare you feed other people? I'm not hungry. All right, I'm just going to go around and block all the exit lines. Doesn't look like there's many very long ones. A lot of them just back straight onto the path, which is really good. Runaway Plumber has one though. A Runaway Plumber, now this is an example, very long exit line. If you accidentally go down there, you're gonna be walking for ages. So I'll block that off. And there is a certain amount of time that people will walk for before they complain they're lost. Right, every time I see some vomit, I'll hire a handyman. I'm leaving the handyman mowing grass at the moment. If that becomes a problem with the amount of money I have, then I'll stop doing that. How's Raging Rocket going? I'm not paying that much. Yeah, okay. I thought $3 was probably a little bit greedy of me. Put it down to 2 and that should help. I need to go to the bathroom. Well, see now it's everywhere in the park. Let's add some more food and drink stalls. I'll add some over here. This is a kind of useless area here, so let's put some in here. Just getting the park really well set up so that I can leave it to run it for a bit. So when I do these scenarios that are longer, even if they're not longer, even if they're only 2-year scenarios, I do spend quite a bit of time not actually sitting there and watching it. I go off and do other things and come back and check it every 5 to 10 minutes. Because let's face it, there's a lot of sitting around waiting for money in Rollercoaster Tycoon. Is Alscallion even making money? 288 per hour. It's almost not worth it, isn't it? How's slow carts going? A good queue? Any other complaints? Raining, raining, raining. I'm not going on there while it's raining. Yes, I know. I don't expect you to. Too many really serious ones like this path is disgusting or anything like that. It does look like we need a few more spots where you can get food and drinks. So this could be another good spot here. Always good to have too many food and drink stalls rather than not enough. I think it's really great how in Rollercoaster Tycoon, all the different scenarios offer different challenges and they're all really designed to increase your skill level at a nice gentle pace. And the challenge of Katie's World is really that it just rains so much. We just got ice cream stalls. I think I might tick off the shops and stalls option. Boat 6 hasn't returned. Hey, bring my boat back. Silly people. I want to get off. Oh, it's too expensive. Okay. It's $1. I'm not making it any cheaper. All right, I might actually demolish this. People are already complaining about the cost of it and they're only going to complain more. It was only $1, so. And I can put a little roller coaster in here. If I get the wooden crazy rodent or something, I can put that in there. I don't actually want necessarily any more thrill rides or gentle rides. I'll take off gentle rides. Let's put in one of those space rings Then we might try and pop a car ride in somewhere. People are complaining about the storm, aren't they? Too expensive? Yep. Make it 350. Let's find a small spot to put these space rings that isn't going to interfere with anything else. I'll just pop this up here. Entry and exit straight onto the footpath. Make it $1.50. I do want to keep thrill rides being researched because things like a woe belly and all that are really good. People look like they're not happy with Runaway Plumber. Oh, I just accidentally closed it. Oops. I'm not paying that much. All right. Oh, wow. That's not expensive though. We've obviously got construction rights. You can see here because you might be thinking, why? This is the park border. Why is it over there? So I'll show you where we've got construction rights. There you go. It already is quite cheap. I don't know why people are complaining. Oh, we don't have enough bins over here near the food, drink stalls and some seating. What's getting researched? A roller coaster? Yes, good. Do we still have people complaining that they need to go to the bathroom? I'm not thirsty. There's less people complaining that they need to go to the bathroom, so that's a good start. The only place we don't have any food and drinks is here, but we've got them there and down there, so I think that's probably enough. Once you start to see people sort of complaining, or not necessarily complaining, but saying they're not hungry, you've got enough food and drink stalls. I wonder if I could fit a figure 8 track here. Oh, wow, I could, but I wouldn't have room for an entry and exit. Actually, no, I couldn't. Footpath's in the way. So I'm just going to leave this for 5 minutes and let some more things get researched and let some money bank up. Okay, I think that might have been a little longer than 5 minutes, but that's okay. Got a good amount of money now. Standing in line. Miniature Railroad 1 is too expensive. It's only $1. I'll let the people that are on it go through and finish. Like I said, it's kind of crummy looking. No one's complaining yet about the paths, but I can see that they look gross. No broken seats, no vandalism or anything. Storm is still not filling up. Too intense, too intense. No one complaining about the price yet, so that's good. People still going on Runaway Plumber, people still going on Raging Rocket. Let's see what we got. Bobsled. Steel roller coaster. Okay, we can put in a shuttle loop. Oh, we've got this one. I reckon I could sneak this in somewhere here. I'm just going to have to get rid of a whole lot of trees, even ones that I don't really know are going to be a problem. Can't actually see. Trying to see where can't construct this here. Again, with the generic noises. I think it does that if there's more than one tree in the way. See if I can see anything. If not, then it may be the fact that that path is in the way. In which case, let's just quickly... it was the path. That's okay. I've got an idea. I don't know how long the station platform is. Not enough cash. It requires 10,914. That is so much money. Let's borrow it. I don't think it's going to be that lucrative, but we'll see. Oh, good. It turns out the station platform's in the middle anyway. The path in. And I'm going to have to temporarily reroute this path here. Actually, I might permanently reroute it. You know what? Just rerouting this path here so we can build a nice big chunky entrance. All right, we've rerouted the path. This looks super scary. This is definitely not the one that I thought it was, but I can see now why it was $10,000. I'm being grossly optimistic by pricing this at $4. I don't think anyone will pay that except for that first group that go through who pay anything. And no one's going to go on it when it's raining. Just waiting for the miniature railroad queues to clear out. And then I'll probably I'll just demolish it. And what do you reckon about another go-kart? I reckon that sounds like a great idea. Let's find a little nook where I can poke a figure 8 track. I want to save this space here for roller coasters. Put a little one over here. Let's have a look. Because they're not very expensive either, and they do make a little bit of money. Slow carts, when I made that, I never expected that it would be so popular. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I wish you could mirror track designs. So you could have a track, but flip it. There's so many situations where I've wanted to build a certain ride, and then it's been like, oh, I can't fit it, but if it was a mirror image of this ride, I could. There we go. It's a nice little figure 8 track. We've got a lost guest. All right, we're starting to have a little problem with lost guests, I'm going to guess. We'll just wait and see if it might have been a one-off. But if you've had one, unfortunately, you generally tend to have multiple. Yep, another one. All right, have a look in a second and see where they're getting lost, because that can really drag down your park rating. I'm going to make figure 8 track 250, and then we're going to have a look around and see if we can help these guests. Something's not right. I can see some vandalism. Hang on, lost guests. I'll help you in a second. It is possible they might be from when I moved that path. No, you're definitely not. Where are you? It's interesting. There's none saying that they're lost. A lot of them seem to be around here. Oh, is that because of that track that yes, that's because of the path that I deleted. I'm so sorry. Let me fix that for you. That will probably be easily resolved. I'll make this one go underground. Yes, I know people want to go home. It's a dead end. It's causing problems. That's okay. That was my mistake. I didn't fix it. So now we'll fix that path, and I'll just see if that helps. I might try and get a bit of a circuit going here and put I'll put a no entry sign there. So it's a one-way, so people can only go through that way. Just try and ignore the lost notifications. Let's see if we can improve the path situation. I'm not paying that much. Oh, yeah, people already don't want to pay $4. Okay, I was greedy. I'm sorry. Drop to 3. I need to sort out the path situation. So let's have a look. Got a path that kind of loops here. Doesn't really do much. So let's make that a one-way as well. This path goes all the way straight through. So that's not a problem. That's an exit path. That's fine. That's got a ride at the end. This little nook doesn't need to be here. Dead end paths like that are not necessary. We'll just leave those one-way signs in for a bit and see if that helps. What have we got that's getting researched? Oh, the wooden crazy rodent was in there amongst all those notifications. I was going to say I could put one in there, but maybe it might be more sensible to put it here somewhere. Maybe in this spot? Crazy Vole and Mini Miner won't fit. Will Tiny fit? Tiny will. But I don't know about the elevation. Not enough cash. Oh, okay. Well, it might fit there by the looks of it. Looks like it'll go over the top of figure 8 track. You can end up with some really ugly path situations in parks like this where there's elevation problems. You can end up with paths that just look really ugly going all over the place. Got the paths done for Tiny. Put a no entry on that exit path. They set Tiny to $2. Usually holds pretty well at that. Inspection every 10 minutes. Some seats in this exit bit though, just in case anyone gets sick on there. Nice little compact roller coaster. I really love that design. I'm so glad I made it. Stand-up steel roller coaster. I don't think I really want any other roller coasters. I would like the Woe Belly though, so I might just put it on only thrill rides and hope that we get the Woe Belly. See, we're not getting any more lost guest notifications. So having a kind of one-way circuit path system can work really well. The storm looks too intense. The storm looks too intense. No one's going on it. How intense is it? Whoa. 8.2. We've got 802 guests, which is good, but obviously your odds of having people that are willing to tolerate that kind of intensity are lower with the lower amount of guests you have. This roller coaster is really popular. What's the intensity on this one? Well, it's similar. It's also very high. There's still people going on miniature railroad, even though people are complaining a little bit about the price. There's still people willing to pay it. So that's interesting. Because I said I would come back and delete it when the queue emptied, but the queue isn't emptying. It's actually continuing to take more guests in. I really do think we need more roller coasters though. The storm is just not getting people. What is this? I'm not paying that much. Okay, one person complained. I'm going to drop it. Drop to 250. And maybe we'll encourage people. Oh, there we go. There's some people going in the queue straight away. Slow carts just is... Why is it like this? Why is it so successful? I don't... Just a backwards and forwards. This spot is just begging for a roller coaster. Maybe a bigger crazy rodent. This looks like a one that would be really good in a very certain amount of space where you have a narrow frontage and one skinny bit that you need to fill. Crazy Vole really is pretty exciting for people. I can't put it in this space though because it'll be so high up. Park entrance fee is very cheap. It's $20. I certainly wouldn't pay $20 to get into an amusement park. They're not cheap, so maybe I could put Crazy Vole here. Remove these trees and see if I can find a spot where it'll allow me to put it. I don't know because of the hill and the actual height of Crazy Vole. Oh yeah, I see. It might go in there. Just want to put in lots and lots of rides. The more rides you have, obviously your park value increases. It doesn't mean that you can have a really crappy park, but just with lots of rides in it. That won't work. Guest numbers are increasing. That's good. And really happy with the fact we haven't had any more guests saying they're lost. In most parks, unless it's a really tiny park, it's always better to have that kind of one-way loop where people can only go around one way. Can you imagine in real life, though, having those no entry signs? Who's going to obey those when they can see people behind them? Especially in a park like this where I have no security guards. Who's going to stop you? The handymen? They're going to whack you with their broom. I'm just going to wait a moment for this money to come in so that we can build Crazy Vole. And now I'll just remove this little corner path because little four-way paths like that are a real problem. Now I'm hoping the Crazy Vole will have crazy numbers of people going on it. Make a really nice long queue for it, which I'm sure people will complain about. Just make Crazy Vole $250. This is a pretty exciting ride. Always better to make it a little bit expensive at the start. It doesn't offend the guests or anything and make them never want to ride the ride. And I should name Tiny so I know which one they're talking about when it pops up. I've used Tiny so many times and it's really popular. I've been standing in line for Runaway Plumber for ages. Well, it must be really popular then. Have you never been to Disneyland? I'm sure you stand in line longer there. I mean, I don't know. I've never. Wow, it has a really long queue line. Yeah, Runaway Plumber actually has a ridiculously long queue line. That's excessive, but it's underground. So it'd be very, very tricky for me to modify that without accidentally dropping people into the void. So let's not do that. Let's have a look at our park value. I bet it's way beyond what we need. 18.6. And we're only in year 1. So as I said, this spot's just begging for a roller coaster. What one though? Another good steel one or a mini steel? Mini steels don't add a lot of park value, of course, because they're cheap. A small wooden one would be good. But the words small and wooden roller coaster don't tend to go together. I wonder if there's anywhere I could poke a shuttle loop. I might do an advertising campaign for the Storm because there's not a lot of people here that are willing to ride it. And I think maybe we could attract some people with better intensity tolerance. How's that railroad going? Still getting people on it. Still making a profit. I'll just build around it for the time being. River rapids are good, but it's similar to log flumes. Stupid long waiting times. Could put in a log flume. Log flumes are good. This one is nice and compact. Is there potentially a spot that I could put that? Lots of trees and stuff up that end. Do I want to use this spot for a log flume? That's a big log flume. The problem with log flumes is you charge similar to what you would charge for a roller coaster, but instead of the rides lasting for like 30 seconds, they can last for minutes. I'd much rather have, if I'm trying to choose something that's going to take up the same amount of space, I'd always choose a roller coaster simply because the guest turnover is so much quicker. I'm just going to chuck a shuttle loop in somewhere. I'm just going to find a little spot, maybe over here. I'm going to put a shuttle loop in somewhere along here where it's just going to have the entrance and exit. There we go. And we'll make that $1.50. Every little ride counts. I really do want to put something here. I don't know what I want though. Another steel mini would be good, except that Raging Rocket is really the best. 0.5, 4.7. I have Roller Coaster 1 that I made. One of these might be good. They're just kind of awkward shaped. See, this has a similar footprint to that log flume, but it looks like I can't build that anywhere here. Whereas this one I can. 3797. All right, I'm going to leave this for just a minute while it gets up to that amount of money for me to build this. Okie dokie, we're back and it looks like I can build this. I'm making money at a really good rate. After Bumbley Beach, where it seemed like I made money at a snail's pace, this one's refreshing. We got some lost guests again. All right, sort that out in a moment. And I think I'll put that at $2.50. Now let's make it $3 and put in lots of seating for people who feel sick. And guests are complaining about the litter. All right, we've got quite a few guests that are lost. They all seem to be going around in a little circle here. I think I might have messed something up again. Okay, yep, they're all at the exit for Runaway Plumber. I don't know what's happened. It looks like at some point when I've been building a ride or removing a tree, it has also removed a path underground. This is something that can happen sometimes. So let's try and go and rescue these people who are stuck underground. Hopefully no one fell through the void just then. That is a problem that can happen when you're building paths. Guests will walk on them when they're just flashing and don't actually exist. Doesn't look like anybody died, so it looks like no one fell through the void. Now we're going to get a lot of these notifications about lost guests for a while. All right, we've got a lot of litter. Put in some more bins. This path is disgusting. Okay, we've got some problems with some cleaning, and it's kind of everywhere. Let's hire a couple more handymen. These seats, we've got some vandalism. I'm just going to go around and add a bunch of handymen. You people complain about the litter and then you vandalize my bins. I don't know what you want. Okay, park's getting very crowded now. Oh, the wall ballet's available. I'm not paying that much. Okay, people don't want to pay that much for this roller coaster. That's fine. I'll drop it to $2. Oh, you vandalized the same bin again. Gonna add some security guards. Yes, guests are complaining about the vandalism. I am aware. I am fixing that right now. Although generally, like, I've found personally that security guards don't actually seem to make that much of a difference. All right, we've got 10 security guards. Not a lot for 1,000 people, but I don't really want to pay any more. Stop vandalizing the same bin over and over. It's too crowded. Then go home. Uh-oh. All right, we've lost Runaway Plumber. Okay, we'll demolish that. Not going to worry about replacing it. I do need to just find the entry though, the entry queue, and remove that before people go down there and get lost. That was a crash. I did just save my game literally 2 minutes ago. I'm not going to go back and get that saved game. Onward and upwards, you know? It wasn't really performing that well anyway. I hate to say it. It sounds so stupid. But yeah, it wasn't going that great. Oh, the queue line was ridiculous. Let's get rid of that. See, it's making it so difficult for me to delete the paths underground, and yet before it just deleted them from above the ground while I'm not trying to whatever. Come on, delete the path. Thank you. The reason to not just leave the paths, I know there's no entry signs on them, but if I leave them, as you can see, your handymen and your mechanics and your security guards and all your other staff will still go down there. All right, there's all the paths removed. We can remove this no entry sign. So no need to replace it. Let's just move on with life. Ah, yes, we had a woe belly. Let's put that in here. All the way up to the sky. Runaway plumbers inspection time was set to 10 minutes too. It's a demonstration that, you know, you can have all the precautions in place and it still happens just like real life, I guess. Let's make this one $2 and then I've got to set the speed. Might be greedy and try 250. Well bellies are great. And I think I usually make it 125. Oh! All right, we'll open that. That's absolutely horrifying. Let's have a look at our park value. It's probably taken a dip. Whoop. Yep, 22. That's fine. We're still miles ahead of the requirements. This miniature railroad is generating so little income now. I'm going to demolish it. It's $312 an hour, and I could put like 6 roller coasters in there, each making over $2,000 an hour. So there's no point in keeping it. There's no sentimental value attached to it. I didn't build it. It is too crowded here. Roller coaster 1 is too expensive. Now see, I didn't name it, so I don't know which one that is. Oh, it's this one. No, that's roller coaster 3. What? Oh, that's the big spirally one. It's got a full load of people on it at the moment. Take that to 250. I think it's got a fairly quick turnaround too. More vandalism. This is what I mean. I've got 10 security guards. Why is there still vandalism? The storm has broken down. Please don't tell me it's just station brakes failure. Safety cutout. It's fine. All right, we've got a big loan here. I'm going to pay that down. Got a $0 loan now. We have $0, but that's fine. I think we're going pretty well. People are complaining about the price of tiny. I did price it pretty extravagantly. 150. People are starting to not be happy about slow carts. Let me just change the name of that so I know which one it is. Because the queue line is not as full as it was. There it is. Take that down to 250 as well. Actually, I might take it down to $2. And that'll keep us probably through to the rest of the scenario. Al's Galleon has broken down. Does Al's Galleon even make me any money anymore? Wow, see, now that's making more money per hour than that entire railroad was. How's the storm looking? People unhappy about it? I can't afford it. Really good value. Okay, people like the price of the storm. Raging Rocket is just super duper popular, as always. Go-karts 2 is broken down. We're having a lot of breakdowns. All right, guests are complaining about the disgusting state of the paths. Whereabouts? Right here in front of me? Where? There's nothing here. What are you people talking about? They're complaining about what path is disgusting. Where are you? Show me where the path hurt you. There's nothing on the path. I think some guests are really picky. It feels like sometimes someone drops some litter or throws up on a path and it's like 2 seconds later, so of course a handyman hasn't had a chance to get to it yet and the person's like, oh my god, this path is disgusting. We're not getting any lost guests or anything. We've already got $2,000 again. Let's think about what we could build next. Motion simulator, Gravitron. Let's chuck in a couple of these little rides that we've just received. There we go, right there. And we'll make that $2. Motion simulator, entry and exit, make it $1. We've got a Gravitron right under a scary roller coaster. Gravitrons aren't that popular, so I'll just make that $1 as well. Can you stop telling me my park entrance fee is cheap? I'm not raising it. Park with the best roller coasters. Aw, that's so nice of you. How sweet is that? Why are people so mad about Roller Coaster 1? You were fine with the price for like a year and now all of a sudden you're like, no, too expensive. Too expensive. Stupid thing is, if I demolished it and put the exact same ride in there again, they would ride it and they would pay. It's just because of the age of the coaster that they don't want to pay that much. Standing line for ages. It's an amusement park. Standing in long queues is part of the amusement park experience, which is exactly why I've never gone to an amusement park. For number 1, I don't ride roller coasters. I've never been on one in my life and I never want to. And number 2, people. And number 3, it's expensive. A log flume would get a lot of people off the paths. Car 8 on Crazy Vol hasn't returned to the station yet. Well, it looks like Crazy Vol needs a reset. Just give me a second. Can't construct this here. Please, Rollercoaster Tycoon, tell me why. I really want to build that log flume specifically. So let's just fix Crazy Vol first. Close and then reopen. Let's raise the level in the bottom of the water. I'm wasting a lot of money doing this, but to be perfectly honest, I don't really have anything else to do. I'm determined to have this log flume now. Let's raise this all so that it's within 1 level. Sorry, ducks. I'm afraid you're going to have to find somewhere else to swim. Mama needs a new log flume. Not enough cash. Yeah, well, so now I don't have enough cash because you made me level all this land. Okay, we have 1 log flume. And I'll put the entrance and exit in and then I'll replace that water because I think it looked pretty and I'm annoyed that it ripped me off. Meow. Maybe not $4. I don't think people will pay that. Let's make it 3. I don't like the fact that it made me get rid of my water. I'm thinking of removing this no entry sign. Let's just try that and see if that helps with the crowds because it's getting ridiculously crowded at the front and it might be okay now. Hopefully that'll help get a few people out of the way. There we go. I think that's all the water back. I wonder if there's many people thinking this park is really clean and tidy. Yeah, there are. The vandalism here is really bad. I'm sorry. Did you see 1 broken seat? So one of the reasons that I think you make money so quickly in Katie's World is because in different scenarios, the guests have different amounts of money. And in Katie's World, they can have up to $90. So your guests generally will stay, as long as they're happy, they will stay in the park and spend all that money. So it's obviously quicker for money to come in when you're not having to wait for new guests to come into the park. It's just the same guests going on things over and over. How's our park value? 30,000. So we're at double the requirement and we're not even at the end of year 2 yet. So let's let this run. Okay, let's see how everything's going. Handymen seem to be keeping up all right with the path. We did get a wooden roller coaster earlier, so maybe I might put in one of those because I do have quite a bit of money. Whoa! Well, it looks like the station platform won't be a problem. Let's make this $3. It does have on-ride photos, which is probably where I'll make most of the money. So we're at the beginning of year 3. It feels really long. I'm 2 hours into this and it feels like it's been 4. It's crazy. And there's really not much more that I can do. I guess I'm leaving it for a bit more. Okay, let's see how we're going. Once again, it's raining. Lots of breakdowns. Basically the same as before. Really looks like it's just going to be a whole lot of waiting around now. We've got full queues everywhere. So our entry area is way less crowded since we've opened up this path again. Everything's really stable. Income's good, park rating's good, guests are good, park value's good. I'm going to leave it now to run through to the end of the scenario. I could be building more rides and stuff, but I just don't need to. Still rocking and rolling. Let's just put the icing on the cake with an observation tower so everybody can look at the beautiful park I have created. Go on, have a free observation tower ride. Yeah, I guess I just wait. All right, there it is, the end of the scenario. Company value of nearly $60,000. We blasted past the requirements for the scenario. Like I said at the start, I think this is a pretty easy one. It does help that you get go-karts right at the start and there is a loan available to you, and people coming into the park do have a lot of money. That was fun, a really cruisy one for a change after the last couple that have been a little more challenging. I hope you enjoyed this one. I did manage to cram a lot in, didn't I? So thank you so much for watching as always. Really appreciate you being here and watching my videos, especially these Rollercoaster Tycoon ones. They hold a special place in my heart as one of the favourite games of my childhood and teenage years. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. This is part of a series where I'm going through all of the scenarios in the original Rollercoaster Tycoon and the expansion packs. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, you might want to stick around. Please leave a like and comment if you enjoyed this video. I have a lot of good conversations with people in the comments about the challenges of each individual scenario and how they compare to others. Also check out my content if that's your kind of thing. If it's not, just stick around for the Rollercoaster Tycoon videos. There's dozens and dozens of them to come, so I'll be doing them for a long time. Thanks again for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.